Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with, Luke Stone will be here any minute. He just got a little delayed, but I'm also here with Joe Spicer of Star-Crossed Comics. And
Thanks, John.
I have had a cough now for weeks, and it will not
Me
go.
too. Me
so
too.
I'm coughing throughout this. I apologize.
Yeah, if I have to blow my nose or cough, I'll try and mute myself.
Maybe we'll synchronize it.
Yeah.
So how you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. So tell me about Star-Crossed Comics. You were telling me a little bit before we went live.
Sure.
And
Yeah, well, we've been publishing for about 25 years, a little longer, and better and better, and we have about 13 creators in the studio. So we got about 30 titles. We got a lot of stuff. We got a campaign going next month, then in January, then in February, March, April. We got some new stuff. We got some issue 3s coming out, and different titles, but we got a lot going on all the time. We got a Black Friday sale going on today. I think we got a free print of all our characters at a Thanksgiving Day table that we're giving away for the Thanksgiving Day weekend, and we got
Dirty
this
Fatty. If you want him to start dancing shirtless, you got to start doing some super chats. I don't make the rules. That's the way it works.
That's in case I get boring. Then I got a little excitement going on. Yeah. I used to always check out people's lighting, and I'm like, oh man, like I swear Luke's lighting always has like some kind of, I don't know, like a purple tint or something to it. I'm like, I got lighting. I'm gonna turn my lighting on, and like. And I was trying to see what translates well to the camera, and I'm like, well,
when I built my basement, I didn't think I was going to do YouTube, and I put this fluorescent light right here because this is where I want to read comics.
Yep.
And now it just shines. So I think I got to put like a screen over it or something, make it a little less harsh.
Yeah, you got to have something going on. You got to have all. You got a lot of what would they call those? Not props, but they're called what you call it? Well, I guess they'll call them movie props, but a lot of cool comic props that I really like.
We were talking about this before we went on. In the early, I'm going to say maybe around 2005, there was a company, and the DC Direct made the toys, and the DC Direct made action figures, and then they started making replicas. And if you can see this Wonder Woman. I'm trying to move. Which way is it? Yeah, this Wonder Woman tiara and helmet. And,
yeah.
And they made this Nick Fury needle gun with the.
That's the one from the original.
Steranko, and then
I met Steranko. He is wild.
This is Nick Fury's ID and shield.
Wow.
This company was really cool making all this stuff, and I was like an idiot buying it all. I couldn't stop.
Is that a board cube?
Yeah, believe it or not, that's actually a game piece. There's a game called Star Trek Attack Wing. Yes, it's a board game piece, and to show you, the Enterprise is about this big, and the board cube is like a foot. So it's in that scale, and it's unbeatable. Like if you play that piece right in the middle, and then you just rotate the board cube to represent it moving around. I've never played with that, and it bothers me because they missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
Here, I'll show you. I gotta move this. This is a mother box.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know they made that. I guess they didn't. You probably acquired it from someone who made it.
That same company made it, but this is a board game piece. And it's just a big stupid thing, and then you can see the bottom. It has the rules for movement and everything. But what bothers me is you can tell it's hollow.
Oh, okay.
They should have made, like, I'm actually thinking of getting a knife and cutting this.
Yeah.
And somehow putting hinges and storing the game inside of it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
They should have made it. Oh, geez, is this thing ever gonna stop? They should have made it well, you see, it's got different sounds.
That's cool.
They should have made it a storage solution along with the game piece.
The original mother boxes, when Kirby made them, they were more flat, like a cell phone.
They look like cell phones. Yeah, Jack Kirby invented cell phones before cell phones.
Yeah, like they'd go, they'd be doing things, and what's his name, Orion would heal his face or whatever.
Right.
I believe the FBI came to Kirby's house and they said, "Where are you getting this information from?" And they were, investigating him, and it was pretty wild that he was coming up with things that he shouldn't have even known about. But I believe he was making him up out of his head. So
I joke around that that his ability to imagine was supernatural.
Yeah.
And supposedly he couldn't drive. Like he had a license and everything
What?
like that, but he couldn't drive because his mind was working overtime, that he would miss his stops and get to fender benders because he was always thinking.
Yeah.
So other people would drive him around out of safety concerns.
Okay.
And I got to say,
wow, that makes sense.
Not that I'm Jack Kirby, but I'm this close because I'll be driving.
Yep.
Yep. And I also have to say that before cell phones,
yeah,
that's when I came up with all of my ideas for comics and stories. After cell phones, I probably wrote like 2 original scripts. So how long have I had a cell phone now? Like 7 or 8 years. Because I'd be daydreaming. I'd be sitting on the train. I'd be daydreaming. I go to the bathroom. I just daydream. Now every free second, I'm looking up stupid on Twitter. And
right. I mean, I used to go everywhere with my drawing book, my black cover sketchbook, and I would just be filling it up with ideas constantly, and I would just walk around with this sketchbook full of ideas, and that was my laptop at the time. Back in the day.
Like 2 weeks ago, my wife went to church, and I went outside to rake their leaves. So it was just me by myself. I put on music, and I was just raking leaves, and I came up with a couple of plots for my comic, and I was like, I just liked it. I was to the point where my wife came to help me. Sweet. I was like, oh man, I was enjoying living in my own world.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They call it being in the flow. It takes a while though. They said,
hey, Duck Bacon,
in the zone.
You followed me over. I was just on Agent. I was just on what's his name? Agent Zero's channel.
Oh, cool.
Now you followed me over. Thank you.
Yeah, they say like the flow takes about an hour to get in it, where you're just in that zone, where you're just in that world and you're just making, content and story ideas and everything. But people don't understand. You can't just instantly start, creating. You have to. It's almost like you're going into like another dimension that you're like observing, like, oh, what's going on in this world? Oh, that's
I guess I don't have to worry
down.
If there's any women listening, but I guess we could rule that out. But every girl I have ever dated, I would just get so mad because, like, I've only had like a cell phone for like 7 years or so. So before that, if I didn't have a comic book, if I didn't have something, I was daydreaming. And then how many times I'd just be on the couch, just daydream. And then every girlfriend, what are you thinking about? What do you think? And I was like, you've just pulled me out of it. You just pulled me out of it. I would get so mad. Now my wife doesn't ask me, what are you thinking about anymore? What am I thinking about? Private stuff. Doesn't matter. Luke's here, so we're going to bring in Luke now.
Cool.
How you doing, Luke?
What's up, man?
There he is.
How you doing? How was your dinner?
It was good. It was good. My father-in-law is 73 years old today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. He always winds up getting jippy and right around Thanksgiving. Some years it's on Thanksgiving.
Well,
hold on. Is that a Hybrid's jacket? What's going on here?
It's a Hybrid's leather
in the
jacket. You
world?
can get this right. Yeah, you see that? It's nice.
Where'd that come from?
Come from my website.
Nice. And a Hybrid's shirt, too. Was it just the logo, or is there an image on there?
Yeah, it's got the...
oh, that's the one from your role-playing
logo,
game book,
role-playing,
right?
Yeah.
Yep. Nice.
Yes, sir.
He's all decked out.
I am decked.
That's cool. That's cool.
We're just talking about nerd stuff, so
I love nerd stuff.
Yeah.
I was
just saying, every girl, including my wife, every girl that I've ever dated, and my wife, but my wife doesn't do it anymore. Like, I'd just be daydreaming in my own world, thinking about stuff, mostly thinking about plots for role-playing games because my friends would play more often. And then inevitably you'd get, what you thinking? What are you thinking about? And you're like, nothing now. You just burst this bubble.
Nothing now.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was on another planet. I was coming up with plots.
Yep.
They always think you're thinking about other women, right?
Yeah.
Or like,
And then so I started being like, okay, you want to know what I'm thinking? I would give them excruciating
They're
details.
like, stop talking.
you're
I
like, yeah,
wrote-
never
I-
mind. I do not want to know.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So now you stop that. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, my wife doesn't do that anymore. She still asks me, like at night, like sometimes you're like, tell me a story to go to bed. I'm like, you do not want to get into that crap. I mean, it's going to be a minute. I was like, hold on, let me call Piper. She's got to edit first before I.
Oh, man.
I don't know, but it's funny. You want to know what I was thinking? Okay, Black Bolt is the leader of the humans. Black Control Bolt.
It's like,
And
wow.
then what? Ren and Stimpy. 15 minutes later. All right, I'll never ask you again. What do you
Right?
think?
You
So
know,
okay, everybody's here. Luke,
yeah.
Joe. So introduce yourself, Luke. For those
My
of
name
you-
is Luke Stone. I'm writer and artist for a book called Hybrids, which is where Trash Man and the team up, Starstruck and Trash Man team up comes from. I'm also the founder of a website called FundMyComic.com. And I'm one of the contributors to AeroComics.com or AeroComics.store, which we just
Okay, let me put that in the
updated
link.
today. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I backed the Arrow Comics A and B bundles because when you're an obsessive compulsive comic book buyer,
Right,
that's
yeah.
what you do.
Yeah, we'll be
And you know
sending
what's
out the
funny,
B
Luke?
bundles.
I don't even know what's coming. I'm just gonna get a box in the mail and be like, "Oh, cool! This is what I bought."
Right, yeah, because we're sending out the B bundles. Well, anyone that ordered A and B, we're sending both bundles out all at once. But we're waiting on one book. We're just one book away, and it is done, and it is lettered, being lettered, and it will be off to print in just probably next week, actually. Very
Look, in the
exciting.
private chat, send me the link to Arrow Comics because I want to make sure I spell it correctly and everything, and then I'll put it in the public chat.
In the private chat.
Yeah, because I don't think you could put it directly in
He
the
wants
public.
he wants me to put it in his privates.
Yeah.
Luke, did you get a
Arrow in
haircut
our
just for this show?
I did. I got a haircut.
That's really going all out.
Look
Yeah,
at that.
you look like a country western star. Yeah.
No, he's got the trash man cut.
Right. So here's what happened. I did not used to have this haircut. Joe knows. But I just been like drawing Trash Man for so long. I was like, just cut my hair like this. Just makes it easy. And that way
Yep.
when I'm drawing him from different angles, I can just look at what's the hairline look like from that angle.
So
Nice.
both of you guys could draw, huh?
Well, Joe's better than I
Supposedly.
am, I think.
No, come on now.
I wish I could draw, and not for lack of trying. I tried for years. I just don't have. I just can't do it. I got to get my comics that me and my friends made when we were in like 4th and 5th grade. We made comics and then we charged the other kids in the class 35 cents to read them, and then the nun made us give back the money.
There you go. So I actually used to make money in high school by I can't believe I'm about to admit this. Lord forgive me. I used to make money in high school by drawing nudie pics
Nice.
for the guys. Guys will do anything for some porn, I guess.
Well, back then that was the only way to see it. These kids today with their cell phones and computers.
I didn't know what it looked like. I was guessing. I had no idea what it looked like.
My grandfather's brother. So what would that be? My great uncle. He was a painter, and he was an old Italian guy. Every once in a while we'd go to his house, and he would paint, and he would have, naked girls with flowers. Tasteful,
Yeah.
nothing, but a paint. And Uncle Gasper, they're naked, and he'd be like, yeah, well, little old Sicilian guy. Well, Johnny, I was painting the girl, and then I ran out of paint before I could finish and put her clothes on.
That's funny.
Right, yeah.
I believed it. I was a stupid kid.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
It's yeah. They do. They still make
I do.
money. I mean, I know a lot of comic book. I mean, that's the majority of the comic books on the green site are doing well because they got the boobers.
Yep.
Cover.
Yeah. Well, little bit of boober never hurt anybody.
I mean, I didn't know what I was drawing. I was making it up. It's what I wanted it to look like, what I hoped it would look like. And
Nice.
I'll be honest, the real thing was way better than I could have imagined.
It was funny if you still have them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I sold them. Like I was doing commissions for.
Nice.
Can you draw Rogue with no clothes on? Yes.
Well,
Yes, I can.
basically her costume. All you had to do was just color it flesh colored, and there you go.
Right. I mean, think about it. Even those, even those tasteful nudes that your uncle did. I mean, still better than the J.C. Penney catalog, right?
Yeah.
That's
I
like
remember my father. We would get the JC. He goes, "Look at this! I would have killed for this when I was a kid." You know, he grew up in the 40s.
But no, yeah. So comic books were in the 90s were great. For everyone was like they were so sexualized. I'm like, yes and no.
Right.
Like I don't think they were nearly as sexualized as they are now, but they were sexier.
They
were sexier.
I got a subscription to Doctor Strange for Marvel Comics because for whatever reason you couldn't find Doctor Strange in my neighborhood. You know, this was the newsstand. This was before comic book stores.
Right.
So I guess it just didn't sell, so that whatever. So I got a subscription, and I remember it came in a grocery bag. It was all beat up and everything. I never got another subscription since. And I opened it up, and it was Clea on the cover in like a sexy pose with her shirt like.
Right, yeah.
And my mother was like, "That's what you got. You got,
Never again." Yeah.
I had to hide my Doctor Strange comics.
Well, I'm a firm believer that, so I don't try to like sexualize my characters, which probably, I mean, if I did, I'd probably make a lot more money if I did. I got some nice looking gals in my books, but I still draw them sexy and powerful.
Right.
I mean, they're clothed. I mean, they're not like, but I mean,
there's nothing wrong with sexy. It's gratuitous is one thing,
right.
Sexy is another.
Right. But even
and then trashy is another thing altogether.
Right.
I mean, really, even a lot of the male characters aren't being drawn spectacularly anymore.
Right.
And it's and unless it's gay Green Lantern, and then it's like
butt shot.
And then it's very, I mean, it's.
Well, you can't
model.
You go back to like Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, he was jacked, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's what a superhero should look like." That's how. And then everybody's like, "Oh, okay, let's start drawing muscles and like."
No, I think like action stars now are.
You got to have an athletic, good-looking people to sell the
Stallone.
Are you really going to read a comic book where it's Peter Parker but he's fat?
Right? No. Well, you figure these are like athletes. You figure be it football players or be it like gymnasts or whatever. If these people are doing backflips and like jumping down from buildings, I mean, they're gonna be in peak physical condition.
Let's take that on for a second, Joe. Think about this. When you look at the football field right now and the basketball court right now, compared to what it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40, even 50 years ago, the athletes are in greater physical condition now than they've ever been, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Action movie stars, think about it. Before it was like you had Dolph Lundgren.
Yep.
You had
Stallone,
and you had Schwarzenegger that were built like gods, right?
Yeah.
Now you've got a list of men and women that are built like gods and goddesses.
Yeah.
I know, but think about it. I mean, you've got both Hemsworth brothers are built. You've got Captain America, all the Chris's. Mm-hmm. I mean, even Andy Dwyer got built enough to be Star-Lord.
Oh, when they told me that they cast the guy from Parks and Recreation to be Star-Lord, I was like, they're not taking this movie seriously.
That was crazy.
Now I can't picture anybody else.
I mean, he took it serious, though. I mean, he got in physical shape, right? And you think about even the guys that are playing Peter Parker, the new one, whatever his name is, the Dayton's in Tom Holland. The kid's in good shape.
Yeah.
In his audition, he came in and did about backflip.
Oh, yeah.
And went into Spider-Man pose. And they're like, okay, you got the job, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the kind of the athleticism that see now from these people. These people really are working on their bodies.
Except for the Marvels.
But except for the Marvels. But then what you do is you run into.
As people don't like her. She got herself in shape.
No, not in the new movie. She's like a skeleton in the new movie.
Yeah, she doesn't look good and healthy.
She's like.
She's gone vegan.
Like
it's not looking good.
And she looks unhealthy. Yeah.
Or something.
Because you want to have. I mean, the word is muscle. There's no muscle on her.
Mass. You want some mass.
Yeah.
But you think about that, and then you look at like what comic books is becoming, and it's. Let's be fair. A lot of the artists aren't better than I am.
Except for Nightwing, right? That's the
right.
on Twitter, you see everybody, all the girls will talk
Yeah.
about night.
Well, there's a lot of artists out there that are drawing these comics that, quite honestly, aren't as good as I am, and I'm not good enough to be working for Marvel and DC. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not. I'm not there. I'm not at that caliber yet. But there's a lot of them that are there working there that aren't there either. They're not even as qualified to do it as I am, and I'm not qualified. And that just it's frustrating.
Standards are where theirs should be.
Dirty, I told you, if you want him to dance, you got to do the super chat. He says with the lights over there for Joe, he wants.
Yeah, he's got some. Got the dance music going.
How was that? I don't have any beats.
Yeah, I can't do it.
So you just said you were going to start shipping out the B bundle of Arrow comics?
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that in December.
Okay.
So hopefully everyone that got those bundles will be getting them around Christmas time.
Oh,
yeah, because
cool.
we were waiting on Chrome Dog. So what happened was we were working on Chrome Dog and we were trucking along pretty good.
Great.
But Patrick is the colorist for it. And we forgot to schedule and make sure that he was... Naively, I was thinking, well, Patrick's always going to be available to color everything I need right away. And then I realized that I've got Patrick on 3 projects myself. And then Randy's got him on like 2 projects. And I've no idea who else is hiring him. And I know he's a full-time engineer on top of being a colorist.
Wow.
So, so he couldn't start right away. And so it put us back a little bit, like when he would be able to finish. And so when we found that out, I decided I was just going to go balls to the wall with the art. And I'm like, I'm just going to take longer to finish it then, and put a little extra care into it. And so I kind of went nuts on the last sequence. There's a lot of rain and splashing and fighting with these 2 big kind of Titan like characters. And so I just...
So before you ship it out, could people go to Arrow Comics and pick up, or FundMyComic and pick up these bundles?
Yeah, they can actually go and get all the bundles from any of the Arrow books that are over there on FundMyComic right now.
And what is Star-Crossed Comics? We started talking about this. Then
Yep.
distracted by all the nonsense behind me.
Yeah, like I said, we've been publishing for a little over 25 years. We got 13 creators. We have about 30 titles, and we got a campaign every month. So we're always putting stuff out. We're doing, group posters, group projects. We have
Is it superhero?
a lot of superhero. We got sci-fi. We got space adventures. We have like superhero. We have ninjas. We got like demons, and we have different. I mean, a little bit of everything. Different tales, different weird stuff. Feminists. I mean, no, not much of that. But I mean, you look at whatever genre you're into, you can find it. You can find it there, and you might be into one book, but not the others because there's so much variety. So,
and are these all coming out on FundMyComic?
Well, FundMyComic. So this is the first project that we are doing with FundMyComic. Cool. So it's new to us.
It's new. All right. Yeah. Well, I already told you, my comic's going to debut on FundMyComic. I can't
awesome.
wait.
It's technically not the first one because he brought Tin Soldier.
Oh, that's right. Thanks.
This Tin Soldier came over first. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's Nicholas Gear, and he is it's a real cool book. It's I was going to say former, but it's a police officer turned superhero, and Nicholas is police officer as well.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Would you call it? Is it a self-insert?
No, they always say write what you know, so maybe he's just writing what he knows.
I mean, I like
he figures
he puts a lot of effort into that book.
Yeah,
I got a poster back there. I haven't hung up yet.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Which one? He does so many.
The car one, a bit nice.
Oh yeah. There's this one cover that I can't wait for people to see. I don't know if he's shown it, but he's like getting out of the police car and he's doing one of these,
Oh, the Superman ripped.
But he's in the police uniform, so he's going like that. And I it's just you've never seen like a full police uniform where he's going like this and he's super underneath the police uniform. For some reason, it's cool to me. Like, and he's getting out of the police car. I really like it. And it's like one of the best drawn pieces. It's so cool.
That's cool. That's cool. Do you guys role play games at all? Dungeons Dragons or anything like that?
Man, I used to like a lot.
Used to a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
I've been so busy.
My first
so busy.
superhero character, he was a cop and I was like, that's gonna be good. We were little kids. We were like, well, he's gonna listen to a police scanner. He's gonna get to the crime stuff. It was a lot of fun.
So early 2000s, I was hanging out with my friends a lot. I was married. We had a baby. I was still collecting comic books, but I got married when I was 20 years old.
Oh wow!
And so
I
like
got married
20.
when I was 38.
Yeah, so like we were like, I think I was like 22 at the time. Corey was a newborn. I would still get together and hang out with my friends, and we were playing this game called GURPS, Generic Universal Role Playing System.
Yeah.
And so we were playing that, and we did the supers thing. And full disclosure, many of the characters that I have in my book were created as playable characters during that role-playing session. So
That's cool. GURPS. I got all of the GURPS books, but I never actually played. I just mined it for resources.
yeah,
Like say with Riffs, if you remember that.
yeah. So I was.
Riffs was part of GURPS.
That was very good too. Yeah, and yeah. So I kind of started this comic book series with the idea that there would be a role-playing game attached to it, because that's kind of where the characters were birthed, and so why not let people play in the sandbox universe?
For I played a game I still play called Villains Vigilantes, and I have a forum, www.villainsvigilantesforum.com. It's still active, and I reached out to the guy who owns Villains Vigilantes. He hasn't responded yet, but I'm like, I'm putting out a comic. Let's do a cross promotion thing, see what happens with that. Yeah.
Sweet.
I think it's fun. Why not?
Cross promoting is smart.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, that's what Joe and I are doing. I mean, now, it's having a little trouble getting some traction on it right now, but I mean, quite honestly, it's what we're doing. I mean, this book was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like it was written back then. We've got, it was a good idea back then, and it's a good idea now. We've gotten better at what we do. So like, even though there's like this core stuff and it's been around a while, it's not new to us, but it's new to everyone else.
Right.
And it, we've been able to refine it and make it better. So, I mean, it's kind of this neat idea. They've got these two. You got Starcross Comics, you got Arrow Comics, you got GOD, you've got hybrids. These kind of two worlds can kind of collaborate for a minute. And
it's so fun. It's such a cool action-packed story, but it's not. I mean, there's a lot of fist-to-face action, but there's also deep mythology in the Nephilim theology. So they're learning, you're learning, and they're digging deeper into their powers, into their origins, and you got some new cool villains. I mean, it's got everything that people who love comics love reading about.
You said in Starcross Comics you have like 35 titles or 30 titles.
Yep.
Are they all like in the same continuity?
So most of them are, but you don't have to be like we have a space adventure that takes place, in another galaxy. And so that one doesn't necessarily, but it can. And other books, if they're like take place in ancient past, maybe it doesn't directly affect, but someone could mention an artifact that's from that ancient book. So we like weaving things in because it fleshes out the characters. Yeah. But you don't have to. Say you were in Starcross and you want to, I'll say, I'll name drop your character in my book or something like that. But let's just say in your book,
and you see the headlines of somebody else or something like that.
Yeah. Or let's say
anybody still reads the newspaper.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, something like, yeah. But like in like if in your book, say the the moon exploded or something, or say the world has been taken over by water, well then obviously we can't just make all the books surrounded by water. So then we'd have to say, well, yours might take place, a different timeline or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but we don't force
Kind of
anyone to be in universe.
Like Image used to do that. They were they borrowed
Exactly.
each other's characters, but it was, like if Youngblood showed up in Savage Dragon, then that was the Youngblood of the Savage Dragon world. So
Yeah.
things were different. It's hard to get. There was no central editor to control everything.
Exactly.
They were all like a confederacy rather than a union. Now the Arrowverse comic for Luke. Same question: is this all one continuity or are these
No.
Okay.
Like Chrome Dog's in a completely different universe, all of its own. Rift Riders is actually the series that has the ability to tie everything together, because they can pop in and out of time, space, and dimension. So anything is game for them. So that's kind of why they exist. Hybrids, obviously, there's stuff that I write that it's connected into the Hybrids universe that'll all be there. So pretty much anything that comes out of my studio that's me at the helm will be connected. But Spank the Monkey, he's kind of in and of its own. Like there's I really like, probably one of my favorite properties is HeroBot Zero, and HeroBot is kind of on his own as well, and but somehow Peregrine and the Fool are connected. So those two are in the same universe. And what Randy's doing there.
I kind of agree with Fritzy Schnitzel, if that's
that is how you would say that. That's Fritzy Schnitzel.
Yeah, he said Cherry Universe is overrated. It works on a small scale. I've grown to dislike it at the big. Well, I like it within Marvel, and I was like offended when they didn't stick with continuity back in the Mark Rudenwald days, and that he kept everything as a tight ship. But I can see now with new companies, I think it could be an anchor. It could be, well, whatever.
It's okay if the storytelling lends to that, but if it doesn't, then
My
having a hybrid universe.
One universe, because I only want to do one comic. I'm one guy.
Right. Yeah. So in that case, having a hybrid universe and a Peregrine universe, that all makes sense. That they've got their own little spin-offs and stuff like that, but they don't have to touch.
My wife is over here folding laundry. She's still laughing when you said Spank the Monkey. She's covering her mouth because she thinks, I don't know, sensors are going to jump out of here.
No, so it's pretty funny. So
it is
Spank was created back in the 80s, and it was Randy. Randy's got a very very tongue-in-cheek, very kind of blue sense of humor, if you will.
Yeah.
And so he had Spank the Monkey, and the first cover they ever did was Spank and his cousin, and nestled in this woman's cleavage on a cover. And it, as an underground comic back then, is one of them in the green section of the Diamond catalog. They had a lot of write-ups done on him because no one had done anything so brazen at the time. But no, Spank's getting ready to do a Spank the Monkey on the comic industry. And so he's, it's kind of a history thing going on. And then there's going to be kind of a spoof magazine, I think. Like a little comic book that's going to have some funny things in it, little snippets, called The Spank Bank. And it's narrated by Spank. It's his bank of stories. But, obviously, we use those kind of... those kind of phrases just because, well, it's intentional. It's funny.
Makes you giggle.
It's like high school humor. I mean, what are we talking about?
We're turning into 12-year-old kids trying not to laugh.
I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, Randy's in his 60s. I'm in my 40s, and I don't think anybody is actually below the age of 35 in this company working, and we're all like, and it's like we're just like a bunch of like high school kids snicker in it, like Spank the Monkey and Spank Bank, and all this like fun parody stuff. It's hilarious. Yeah. It's silly.
They all called comic books,
right?
We forget that they're supposed to be funny, but
funny books.
Funny books, yeah.
I will say this: I'm very, very, very harsh on funny comics because I can't write funny. It's too hard for me. So if you could write funny comics, God
We
bless you.
we do have some humor books too. We have Corn Dog. Corn
like
Dog,
Corn
you're
Dog, he's
fired.
funny.
So
You already got me to
there's-
start giggling, so of course I'm
there's a-
giggling at Corn Dog. You know,
Yeah, he goes around
Luke-
trying to
Luke,
find
you
different
started it.
jobs, and he gets fired at the end of every issue. So
He can't hold down a job, man. He's funny. I like Corn Dog. Corn Dog's one of my favorite ones over there
Yeah.
at Starcross.
and he's got
He's a human. That's his nickname. Corn
no,
Dog?
he is a corn.
He's
he
a
is
freaking
an
corn
actual
dog.
corn dog,
I'm
and
gonna be
he
giggling.
wears
So sorry, guys.
he wears tighty whitey underwear, and he wears yellow galoshes. That's
Oh.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
he's funny. I like him.
Yeah.
Um,
And nobody believes what happens to him at each job. It's like some crazy, like some guy turns into a werewolf or some monster comes out, and he's like, this is why I blew up the building. And then they're like, you're fired.
You're fired. I really, really want him to draw Trump firing him once. I want him to work for Trump. I think it'd be hilarious.
Oh, nice.
Maybe get a job at Mar-a-Lago and he has to blow up Mar-a-Lago. Because of, I don't know, like a zombie horde or something. I don't know.
Nice.
I always, like, when I read that book, I find funny scenarios. I'm like, that would be funny if that happened.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's working on some new stuff. Yeah.
I love comic books. They're fun.
Yeah.
Now, we put some humor in this team up.
Yep.
But see, like, my humor is a little bit different. So I have, like, a sarcastic humor, but I also really love, like, a cringe pun humor. I think it's hilarious.
Oh! You got to start dancing.
Ooh,
We set up the rules at the beginning.
thank you,
Thank you,
Kahuna.
Ultimate Kahuna. Thank you.
I got to do the
Yeah.
bird dance. I can't
I-
move. I can't move like that.
I need to send that to somebody.
I forget that I could get super chats, and I get them so infrequently that I get surprised. Thank you. I don't even know what to say. Like I don't even know what the etiquette is. Like what do you do? I'm supposed to have like some graphic or something like that. I don't even-
Unending gratitude. Thank you so much.
well,
for your
they got
generosity.
that. They don't even have to pay for that.
And
They just
happy
gotta watch.
Thanksgiving, by the way.
Oh, and thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. And Ultimate Kahuna, happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you. You don't have to pay for for Happy Thanksgiving. But I don't even know what to say. I'm
Look at him. He's all like, "Oh, yeah."
Show us your feet. Oh God, you do not want to see that. Well, I
Oh
did have
dear
a
God,
pedicure
he's
on
one of
Wednesday.
those.
I'm a construction
Feet
worker,
pics. I'm
and when I
joking,
was
I'm
an
teasing.
apprentice, this old guy, he looked like what's the guy from Roadhouse? The old guy.
Oh.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott's awesome.
He looked at me. He goes, "Kid, I'm going to give you some advice that everybody's going to make fun of you for." He goes, "Every 6 months, get a pedicure." And this was an old grizzled Sam Elliott guy. He goes, "Notice that everybody here is complaining about their feet, but me. So, maybe once a year I go and I get a pedicure. I'm a construction worker, man. My feet."
Man, I got a
bet.
pedicure once.
And I always
It
go
was
there,
awesome.
and they always like it's funny because it's awkward. I'm the only guy, and then they scrape the feet, everything. They cut the nails, and then they pick up the nail polish and they look at me, and I'm like, "That's cool," and then they giggle. But they have to ask, I guess,
I let him do the clear nail polish too, so those things stay nice for
They stay it's nice and
for a
pretty.
day or two. Yeah,
They got to stay nice and pretty for the super chats. Yes, you're absolutely
Right,
right.
man.
We gotta hustle.
Next week, John's gonna have a foot cam.
John's foot box.
Yeah.
He's gonna have John's gonna have his foot cam down there, and you're like, start
How you
having
doing,
people buy him
Tank Ferry?
shoes.
Luke, do you have capability of sharing the video?
I have all kinds of capabilities.
Yeah, sure. You got a video? Yeah, when you're ready, I'll put it up.
Ew.
Yeah, let me show off this
If
cam.
it's your feet, then I guess it's your feet.
Well, I mean, my feet or your feet, whoever's feet, it doesn't
D&B
matter.
came up again. Yes. It's on my mind a lot lately because, like I said, I'm not to take away from Joe and Luke. This is their hour, but I have a comic in the works, and it's inspired by V&B. I reached out to Joe Bizarre, the owner of V&B, to try to do some sort of cross promotion. Maybe put a couple of rules in the back of the comic book. Write up my character as if it was a role playing character. But
That's
I don't
cool.
want to do anything that's going to get me in trouble. So I'm trying to talk to these people. So yes, it's on my mind a lot. Plus, I recorded a 6-hour role playing session that we're putting in half-hour chunks. It's being edited. So yes, V&V is on my mind. So I see that we got a video up here. Should I put it up right now? You ready to
Go
put it
for
up?
it,
Or
yeah.
you need to introduce this? All right, put it
No,
right
go
up.
for it, my friend. Yeah, this right here is the video for Starcross Team Up #1.
Cool.
Oh
That is
yeah.
pretty cool. That is cool. I
Thank
have
you.
to say that art reminds me of Michael. How do you say his name? Michael Avon Oming.
Oh, cool.
He did the Mice Templar. He did a couple of. I think he did
Powers.
Powers. That's right. Yeah, with Brian Bendis. Yeah. So I'm digging this. And
Yeah,
before we-
Oming, he
I'm gonna guess
bought
this-
one of our books at a convention.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's pretty
This
cool.
looks like I'm just guessing, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm excited. This looks like a great mix of superhero, sci-fi, and mythology,
Yes.
You got it, man.
which means
Yep.
it's made for me. So there you go.
That's exactly what this is, and it's kind of like a buddy cop movie,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit. You know, it's kind of got that vibe to it. I'm a big fan of movies like The Other Guys, Get Hard. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Yeah, that's Will Ferrell's going to jail and he has to get tough.
Yeah, Ride Along. Just kind of like that, like unlikely team ups of
Beverly
people,
Hills
and where they get along.
Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash, yeah. Beverly Hills Cop. 48 Hours.
It's like The Golden Child.
Yeah.
There's that movie
Lethal
was so big and then disappeared.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon. I'm just like, I'm into
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, right? I'm like, I love that stuff. So, growing up, I watched every one of those movies.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, I watched every one of those movies with my dad, right? So when we talked about doing this team up, my thought was I wanted to capture that vibe with some superhero Nephilim.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got it. I think
Yeah.
think we nailed it.
I think we're the only one doing superhero Nephilim, and we've cornered the
What are the name of
market.
your characters? I'm really into the names of characters. Like this guy right over here with the lightning. What's his name?
That's Starstruck. He's from GOD. GOD is the name of the evil organization that helped create him. Stands
And
for the
his name is
Global Order.
Starstruck?
Yeah, it stands for
That's
the
great.
Global Order Decree. And he's an Nephilim. His father is an angel.
And what's the
Those-
other guy? So
Yep.
Starstruck is one of the TV.
That's one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then my guy, his name is Trash Man. His real name's Clarence Mahoney, but he actually is a waste management employee. Well, was. And so he just went by that was his nickname. Everybody called him Trash Man. Hey, Trash Man. And so that's what he goes by. That's his name, like calling somebody butcher because they're a butcher or something.
I just want to give a shout out to I talked about my my video getting edited. This is Dark Alchemy. He's the actual editor. This is my buddy
What's up,
Roy.
man?
So it's
Sweet.
good to see you, Roy. And you hear people, Tank Ferret, he loves the art style.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, Joe's got a fantastic aesthetic with his art.
Oi, oi, oi. And then luckily they never tried a sequel to The Golden Child.
Mm-hmm.
And superhero Nephilim seems to be I've been hearing Nephilim a lot. Yeah. The what were they? The giants from the Bible? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now to be fair, we've been doing Nephilim probably the longest. I don't think I heard about a Nephilim until recently. Joe was doing Nephilim 25 years ago.
So let me ask you, you're a pastor. Was Goliath a Nephilim or was he just
Yeah.
he was? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they're
they
talked
got
about a
the-
lot in scripture.
The
We actually-
Raphaim, they go through all the different generations of Nephilim. Luke might recall all the different names. They
Yeah,
have
I don't recall
the
them.
Zanzumim.
Yeah.
Keeps
Each
going.
generation would dilute the
Yeah, I think it diluted.
the Nephilim
here.
gene.
Yep.
Look
So
at that.
basically,
That
you had
panel is awesome.
like true Nephilim were like 50-50 angel humans, right? And so then you had different degrees of genetic makeup down
And
the
in
road.
Luke's book, they're called hybrids.
Yeah, we call them hybrids. So
Oh, duh. Does anybody have a light bulb graphic that they could put over my head? Okay, all right, it finally makes sense.
yes, Og was a Nephilim as well.
Yeah, Og, king of Bashan.
Yeah, and then the
Oh, yeah?
last king of the
Og was a biblical character.
Hmm.
yeah.
I
think-
took a minor in theology and I studied the Bible, but I'm sure I'm nowhere near what you are, Luke.
Oh no,
I think
I forgot a lot.
did Joshua kill him?
Yeah, Joshua actually was hunting down the last of the Nephilim, and he took out the last king of
Also, like David's Mighty Men.
yeah. And so we actually reference that Bible history in this
There's
book.
a page if you scroll, like there's a, what is it? It's the one with the open pages. That up there. Right there. Yep.
Yeah, so we reference kind of the start of them. We also reference this last king that Joshua slayed. And then that actually plays into some lore in our book, in my book. In the next arc, we have a company called the Joshua Project. And they also reference, like what happened there. And so they're trying to finish the job that Joshua thought that he had finished. So to get rid of all of them.
How you doing, Luke?
Welcome, John.
I didn't realize this because I don't know, this cold is just kicking my butt. I just feel foggy. But I didn't realize you're drawing this, Joe.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, me and Luke collabed. Luke did draw a little more of the beginning, a couple pages, right?
Yeah, I think I drew like 2 pages.
Then, I was just getting it all tied up, getting it finished, and we were going to color it, but then we're like, oh, we don't have time for this. So we got a colorist, and then we were going to letter it, and then we're like, oh, we don't have time for that either.
I mean, when we started it, I was going to write and draw it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really wanted to establish myself as a writer back then because most people knew me as an artist. So I wrote it, and then I just, life happened. And Joe's like, you mind if I draw it? And I'm like, go for it, man. Because I love Joe's art. Joe's one of my...
It's neat. Yeah,
he's got a beautiful aesthetic to it. I love his shape language that he uses for drawing these characters and stuff.
Like I said, it reminds me of Michael von Emming, who I really, really enjoy. Check out his Vice Templars and his powers. It's good stuff.
Very stylized, but I just love it. I like his style.
And this is available right now. I could go pledge.
Yeah, you can pledge right now.
The book's done. The book is completed. It's lettered. It's colored. It's
on FundMyComic right now. If I put this stuff, I'll lead people to the right place.
Yep, that's where they can go to get it.
I know some people worry, like, oh, is this book even going to get done? Like, the book's done.
Yeah. Like, we set a goal, but it's an arbitrary goal. Like, we could have set the goal at like $1.
Yeah, it's going to come out either way.
It's coming out. It's getting printed. It's going. But we would like to... we'd like to do a nice sizable print run for the first go of this because we want to offer it for a while as a cross promotional thing for both Hybrids books and maybe even anything from Starcross. That way we can continue to use it as an opportunity to introduce both of our audiences to each other's characters.
Yeah, that's
right.
Smart.
So instead of just like sharing a mailing list or doing an update, and say, hey, go check out this campaign. We thought what a great way this would be to let people get to know our characters through a fun, it's a 22-page cross-promotional kind of sampler platter of awesome, right? So, I mean...
It's like an old school Marvel team-up,
Right,
That's what inspired it.
And the Human Torch are getting together, and that nonsense is going to happen.
Yeah.
This is exactly
And we have a connected cover of our first issue.
Right
so
here,
people who are like, I don't know what Hybrids is, or I don't know what GOD is, or who these characters are, you can get the first issue of Luke's book and my book with the connected cover just for this campaign, and then you can catch up on who these characters are.
Well, that's a good idea.
And the cover's hollow foil, so it's really hot and sexy.
It's going to be really shiny.
It's like...
Sheldon's got to check his foot because he just stepped in a whole pile of awesome.
Yeah, you do, Sheldon. Yeah, it is a whole pile of awesome, man. This is...
Yeah.
I mean, this is fun.
Get back to feet over here, I guess.
We got the chibi stickers.
Yeah, you can add chibi. So I've kind of put everything in here that you can
the
add
middle
on there. But honestly, your best value is to save like $5 or so and get the team up bundle. So it's going to come with the team up book, the connected covers, the metal print, the button, which is not present anywhere else, and the chibi stickers. So
that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Forgive my coughing. Jeez, I'm so annoyed.
Hey, it happens, man. I went out smoking the turkey yesterday morning, at like
Nice.
7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was like 30 degrees out.
Yeah, it's cold, man.
And so between breathing in the smoke from the smoker
Mm.
and the cold air, I've gotten myself pretty sick. So I,
We're all sick.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's that time of year, man. It sucks.
Right?
yeah, I don't know.
So I drew the chibis and then Luke colored them.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like this. That's a great page. That's a great page.
it is a good page. I like it. I like how it shows off this cave that kind of responds to their DNA.
Yep.
And then what's that behind me? Bam. We
They
call
like
that
punching each other.
we call that a meet cute. Is that what we call? No, that's not what we call that.
That right there.
That's
Stop.
called a meat brute. That's
Hold
what that's
out.
called.
That is an ultimate introduction of a character.
Yeah.
That is really good.
Yeah. So yeah, you actually start out this story
Yeah, with Trash Man.
Pledge.
Trash Man. He's talking with.
Oh, thanks, Gary.
Thank you, bub. So yeah, he's talking with chlorine, and so we're gonna start out like you get like why this is like how this starts, and so it starts out like a Trash Man story, really.
Yeah.
And then he shows up at this cave, these coordinates. We got this letter, and when he gets there, then we introduce Starstruck into the mix, and this is their
Starstruck is a
meetup.
great name. I'm like a little mad I didn't think of it.
Oh, thanks. Well, I created him back in 1992.
I was 12. Joe, how old were you when you created him?
What was I in middle school? So
Well, because when Rob Liefeld was 12, he was making horrible names like Cable, and then later on.
hey, Cable's one of my favorite characters.
The reason why I'm harping on the name Starstruck is I
like-
feel like a superhero has to have a name that is
Oh,
like
cool.
a focus of the character. Like Starstruck is perfect.
Cool. Thank
Like
you.
if you didn't even show me the picture, I could probably describe his traits and his powers and everything like that. And then of course I got the picture. So,
That's
but
cool.
it's a great focus. But like when you say Cable,
Yeah.
what does that mean? It does. It's not.
Yeah,
even-
it doesn't. Nothing conjures up. Right. Exactly.
It doesn't. It's not descriptive. It's not.
You're right.
That's
You're right.
Just, I can't like Cable. I like Rob
You're right.
Liefeld. Like, oh wow! Scroll down. Scroll back down. You make it pint glasses. Awesome.
Those are cool.
That is.
Yeah, we
awesome.
may open that back up here towards the end. Let that run again the last week.
I'm
'Cause,
thinking of. I made pint glasses for my board game convention, and I'm thinking of bringing that back for my.
yeah,
so-
a lot of people miss the pint glasses and they want them.
So the weirdest thing is every time I see comic characters on a little glass, I think of that. Was it Sesame Street or was it Mr. I don't know, but it was that tiny super guy who was on a glass and he would move around in stop motion.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys remember that,
I
but it
do
was
recall
that
that
old.
vaguely.
I was terrified
Okay.
of Mr. Rogers because if he went into the land of make believe and I saw that king and queen,
Yeah.
I was running, screaming. Mom,
They're scary.
They're not right. They're not right.
Those were
Awesome.
terrifying.
He did all the voices,
Like-
Mr. Rogers.
He did, yeah.
This looks awesome, and I like that. They're doing the. So who would win? Who wins the?
Oh, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
But they're virgin covers, so there's no logos. That was Luke's idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because obviously his character's on
Makes
his book.
sense.
Mine's on mine, And when you read it, I mean, it starts out, it's Trash Man. I mean, he's at work, right? So that's what he does. Oh, and his slogan's time to take out the trash. He thinks it's awesome. Everybody else thinks it's lame. But he still thinks it's awesome, even though they tell him, dude, you should stop. It's totally lame. He's like, no, it's not.
That
That's
just
awesome.
isn't going to happen.
He's like, no, dude, that's awesome. So that's kind of his personality, and
I like
Starstruck
this
is.
game.
Yeah, so the two of them are funny together.
Yeah, it's great banter back and forth, but then you're also learning the mythology
Yeah.
as they're kind of reluctantly being forced into this, kind of mystery, which then leads into a battle, and then they're fighting each other for a second, and then they, they're back to
I like
getting
this,
down to business.
this page over here.
Yeah.
With just the two of them, that's a splash.
Yeah.
There's a fun little thing there. So like the bad guy's been monologuing, right?
Mhm.
As bad guys normally do. And so Monologosaurus Rex over there is going off, and Starstruck is like, listen, your plan just has has a big hole, two big holes.
Yeah.
You know, and Trashman's like, yeah, and we're those two big holes. And he's like, wait, that doesn't sound right. So like, you know, because they'll say things.
Trashman speaks before he thinks. I'm
Right, yeah. He's just like, oh, wait a second, no,
funny.
that wasn't. He tries to play things out, right? I mean, he doesn't talk much. He's kind of introverted, but he's learning. He's coming out of his shell.
He's got to practice his banter a little.
Right, yeah. Since he's become, it's funny. Like he would be like very quiet and very like closed and reserved back when he was just normal. But now that he's totally exposed with the bare chest all the time.
Right.
He kind of just, he's really working out that.
But he doesn't need armor, so he doesn't really need. It's like the Hulk. The Hulk wearing armor is kind of self-defeated.
Yeah, it's stupid. Except here, as you can notice, they use blood here, right? So, what?
It's in the trailer.
Yeah, it's in the trailer. So we have the blood in the trailer. Trashman's invincible and like never gets hurt. Like really, not here. So there's something different about this place. So he has to be a little more. Careful, and you'll notice from time to time, as I'm drawing him now, especially on his back, I'll put a little scar on his back, just a hint that there's something there.
I look at Starstruck, and I just he looks like a Jim Starlin creation. Like he could be hanging out with Captain Marvel or Dreadstar, or
It's cool.
Adam Warlock and Drax. He just looks like a cool spacefaring superhero.
Yeah, he's got a really cool look to him.
Yeah, he does.
It's funny. I don't think I've told anybody this, but so his original design was similar. It was more armor based, and I'm actually going to bring that look back later in his story. But I seen this. It was this classical painting of this angel, and the design. It was like a gown or whatever. But it had those lines going across. It had the blue on the top, and then it went down to white. And I just went, whoa, that's so iconic looking. And I mean, you'd look at this, you would never see it. But in my mind, I processed it, and I said, I want to use that. I want to use that look. But I mean, it's not a direct copy, and you might not even see it, but I saw it, and that's how but in the story, that's actually a biosuit that's used by these guys that do genetic engineering. Picture like in Marvel the AIM, the AIM guys.
Beekeepers, I love that.
Yeah, the beekeeper outfits. So they all wear that suit, but it's really baggy on them. And there's a helmet that goes with that suit. But when Starstruck breaks out of his lab in his story, he's fighting, so he gets all bloody, and he gets through this room that's a quarantine room, and it doesn't like that. He has cross-contamination, so it puts the biosuit on him. It projects it to him. But it's skin tight for him because he's so huge. But everyone else, they're like baggy, and they look frumpy. So his is very tight on him. So that's how he gets that suit. It's actually one of those engineers that experimented on him.
Cool. This looks good. I like this. This looks really cool.
Yeah, we're pretty proud of it. I mean, rarely can you go back to something that you wrote 5 years ago and think, wow, that holds up.
Look at that picture of you, Joe. That's looking all serious.
Ha!
Yeah. Someone said, Joe, that's scaring people away. You need to
I know.
smile.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for that backer, by the way. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah. This looks fun. That's what else do you want to?
It's such a fun book. I love it.
That's it.
When you talk about a comic book and somebody says this looks fun, what else do you want?
That's it. Like, yeah, it's fun. It is fun.
Oh,
so yeah, we just encourage
Pops
people
is
to.
Here. We got to shut it down.
Welcome,
now.
Pops.
Hey,
man, Pops and I have actually been having a bit of a team up ourselves lately.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
On Twitter, man. It's
you guys are the comic.
FundMyComic, right?
Sorry, no.
Yeah,
no.
this tonight
real
is
life Twitter fighting. Real life Twitter fighting. It's funny.
All coughing all night long. Everybody.
Yeah, I keep coughing every time I laugh.
I could cough too, but I'm controlling myself.
But we'll close this down. That's our hour.
Yeah, thanks for having us, John.
Thanks for having us, John.
I could talk all night long, so I'm learning to limit myself because I, better go out with a bang rather than let it go on for 3 hours and then.
Right.
But people will click on an hour-long video. They will not click on a 6-hour-long video. So.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, well,
it's true.
I can't. Plus,
we have a lot of playbacks for our 3-hour-long video on Thursday mornings, but it's just that's one
nerds
talking.
Because I watch yours. It's a 3-hour show. I'll watch like 20-minute intervals. During the course of my commute or something like that. You know what I mean? But I can't sit 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I do, and it's once a week. If you did it every day, I think I would. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't be able to.
If I did it once a week, I'd kill myself. I mean, if I did it more than once a week, I would kill myself.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, now I'm confused. I'm easily confused.
Yeah, I'm confused too.
Yeah, I'm always confused.
I'm medicated.
Pops, we know you're supporting people. That's why you're a good guy. Pops reached out to me a couple of months ago. I'll never forget
Happy
it.
Thanksgiving.
I may be a jerk, but I'm a loyal jerk. So. Thanks a lot, guys. This is let me put up your links one more time.
Thank you.
We'll we got Star-Crossed Comics. So that's where we can get Joe's stuff, right?
Yep.
You get yes, Star-Crossed Comics. Let me get some other links. Oh, we got the Arrow Comics. I back the Arrow Bundle A and the Arrow Bundle B because I'm a crazy person like that. I got to get everything. I just love comics. I don't even know what I'm going to get. It's going to be fun.
If you still want those Arrow comic bundles,
they're good.
You can go over and get them from. You can get them from the. I took them off of my hybrids one. You can get them from the Fool, or you can get them from Chrome Dog or Soltac.
Right.
So here, I'll just show you one of those. Like this is Soltac. Soltac is funding for issue 4 right now. Doesn't that look awesome? But yeah, you can scroll right on down here and Arrow Comics 1, Arrow Comics 2.
I don't think we talked about this, but for those of you who are watching and you don't know, Luke is the owner and creator of FundMyComic, which is a website that you could go to look at independent comics made by people like Joe. In a month or two, I will be on it, and it's no BS. He doesn't interfere. He doesn't shadow ban people. He doesn't politically discriminate against people. This is just, you're going to make a comic, and as long as it meets the criteria, that's pretty easy and clear, and I think normal. Can't steal other people's property. You can't put like illegal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you can put your comic out, and you don't have to worry. That's
Yeah, it's a neutral ground. I mean,
you can talk to him if you have any questions.
Yeah. You can come over to the site.
Yeah.
Host your stuff. We don't care, your affiliations, your background, stuff like that.
Right.
Just come in, create a respectful, professional storefront kind of display page for either collecting pledges or fulfilling books that you've already got, and everyone's happy. Everyone gets along.
Right. To me, it's a no-brainer. I'm not going to go, and I'm spending some money and I'm spending some time, and it's something that I really want to do. And I'm going to go put it, like as Luke says, I'll use his terminology, the green site or the pink site, and then somebody I've never met, never interacted with, doesn't know me, starts messing with it. They shadow ban it, or worse, they hold the money, or just tell me 3/4 of the way, forget about it because we saw something that you did on Twitter or whatever. I don't want to take that risk. And to me, this is a no-brainer. If again, this is an imaginary scenario, but if I have a problem with Luke, I can talk to Luke, and me and him will figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I don't even know who runs the other two sites, and I'm not
Correct.
really interested in who runs those two sites. If it works for them, good. But this is what I'm good. Luke's one of us. Luke's a comic book creator. He's a nerd. He's been playing GURPS for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
GURPS and D&D and Star Wars and.
Yep.
I'm a nerd.
There you go.
Man.
I mean, I don't. To me, again, I'll repeat myself. This is a no-brainer.
I'm a big fat nerd.
Yep. I'm a big fat old nerd, so I got one up on him. And Joe, you look like the baby here. You got a baby face.
Joe's
I'm
older than I
probably
am.
older than
Oh,
I'm
Joe's older than I
46.
am.
okay.
Yeah, I'm only 42.
There we
Okay.
go.
Of course, I've gone through hell and back, so
Yeah,
It'll
Luke
age you.
had quite a story. Yeah.
it'll age you a little bit. But
I'm like a third of Luke's size, and I'm talking height.
yeah, like so. So when I met Joe for the first time, I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're
like-
so little."
You got
I hurt my neck looking up.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow."
Tank Ferret says he's launching soon. Good luck, man. Let me
Yeah,
know,
I'm looking
Tank,
forward
if
to
you want to
that.
come on my channel. We'll talk about it. Let me know. I love helping people out. I love talking about comics. I love talking about people. I love talking with people who love this stuff.
And thanks to everybody that come out to watch tonight and hang out with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah,
you, guys.
appreciate you spending your Friday night with us.
Yeah, and to the ultimate Kahuna who gave you a super chat, your feet pics are coming to you through
In the
email.
mail,
So-
in the mail, baby.
But thanks a lot, everybody. I got to get going.
Yeah.
I can barely talk anymore. I don't know if you can hear my voice is giving out.
I hear you, brother. Yeah, I'm in the same boat, brother.
Yeah. I don't know, something about the East Coast. Everybody is sick. But thanks a lot, everybody. Luke, you want to say anything before we go? Joe, you want to say anything?
Just be good to each other, man.
Yeah.
World's too full. World is full of people tearing each other down. Try to build somebody up. Leave the wood pile higher than you found it. And go back a great book over on FundMyComic right now.
Ditto.
And
Hey,
hopefully
Roy,
it's this
see
one.
you
Right
soon. We gotta finish our role playing story. We're filming that. But thanks a lot, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks,
Bye
guys.
bye, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving. I know it's late, but happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Bye bye.
Bye bye.